So I want to strike when the iron is hot on this video. I'm going to upload it on the second channel because it's unscripted, and that's where I'm going to be putting all my unscripted videos now. But Tommy Robinson, honestly, I've seen him in a few interviews, and he doesn't seem like that bad a guy, in my opinion. I think a lot of his anger, in a sense, is justified, and he's able to... He's a lot more than you would expect, is probably the best way to explain him. But when he's doing stuff like this, trying to wage war against Quilliam, who are, in essence, an anti-terrorist faction who have done far more work than him, Rebel Media, or any of the retrograde right, for that matter, in actually trying to quell Islamic extremism, you have to wonder, are they really in it for the fight? You know, are they in it for the glory of the fight, or do they actually want to solve the issue at hand? And if so, why are they going about it in such a stupid, heavy-handed way? Now, this all stems from a Guardian article. It was written by Julia Ebner, and here we are. This line, this little paragraph caused controversy and angered Tommy. That the far right has moved from the fringe into the mainstream demonstrates the massive support that white supremacist movements have attracted from digital natives. Their online following often exceeds that of mainstream political parties. With over 200,000 followers, Tommy Robinson's Twitter account has almost the same number of followers as Theresa May's. That is not necessarily inciting that he is a white supremacist. That is saying white supremacists' movements are growing. I'll admit, it does seem to be insinuating that Tommy Robinson's views are far right, which is debatable, in all honesty. I think it's worth sitting down. If his views are far right, I don't care. That doesn't change my position on somebody just because they're far left, far right, centrist, centre left, centre right, traditional left, traditional right. I don't care about that. And I know people are going to go, well, Antifa, care about that. Antifa already hate fucking Tommy Robinson's guts. Antifa already hate Tommy Robinson. This isn't going to change a thing. So I don't know why Tommy suddenly decided to get so offended by this article. This heavy-handed approach to combating Islamic extremism is only going to promote more Islamic extremism, at least in the short term. I don't know so much about the long term, but these people seem to be thinking about the short term. They want action now. They want sudden initiative to be taken on the issue of Islamic extremism, which is understandable, but that's quite simply not how the world works, unfortunately. So let's watch this video, because this is just self-inflicted harm, Tommy. I mean, you're really going to go against somebody like Majid Nawaz, who has done so much to actually speak out against Islamic extremism and point out things like Salafism and Wahhabism, the extremist branches of Islam that motivate these attacks, and you think that they're your enemy, and you're going to go as far to barge into their office. I've not watched the full video yet. I'm not going to watch all of it because it's 12 minutes long, but I'm going to watch a bit of it.
So today we're going to an organisation called Quilliam, and the reason I'm...
Yeah, you used to work for them, didn't you? But you were probably too fucking heavy-handed to deal with the subject matter at hand. This is the problem I have with the retrograde right, is they don't understand how heavy-handed they are. Yes, a lot of the things that they bring up are legitimate concerns. That's understandable, and Islamic extremism is obviously one of them, and Antifa is another one, and I speak out against both of those things, and, a lot of other people do, but this is not the right approach to the problem. This heavy-handed Leroy Jenkins, it's political Leroy Jenkins, political kamikaze, if you will, is what I call it, because it's just flying too close to the sun on wings of wax, in all essence, because they want to... It's unpragmatic, which is not, against the right-wing doctrine to begin with, and it's just cringy to anyone, and it makes you look bad to the outside as well. It makes you look bad to the people who, a third party who already thinks, okay, Islamic extremism is bad. Not all Muslims are terrorists. It's the Salafi and the Wahhabiists. The fact that you are now waging war against Quilliam shows a lot about your character to those people, and a lot to third parties, and a lot of people aren't happy with this at all. And I love the comments. I had a little look at the comments. Troll watch with Tommy Robinson is gold. Such a brilliant hire. Yeah, it is pretty funny. I mean, more so how much of an arse Tommy makes about himself. He puts on this tough guy persona, but it really comes across as the most insecure thing in the world, just going out and confronting people. I mean, Owen Jones did exactly the same thing, and he got lambasted for it. And so why is it okay for Tommy Robinson? Well, I should say lambasted by the retrograde right for it. I mean, mainstream, they ate it up. But why is it okay for Tommy Robinson to do it? It's partisan bullshit. There aren't many people that have the balls and conviction to do what he does. It is insecurity masked as machismo, in all essence. This is what it is. I mean, taking such a slight... And I know there's the whole, whoa, I'm in danger. He's already in quote-unquote danger, from these Islamic extremists and Antifa and all that. So really nothing is going to change in that regard, and it's unfair. I'm against that, obviously. I'm against him being under threat, and he has the right to free speech, obviously. But going to these offices when they've painted him, by all accounts, it's debatable whether he's far right or not. I was actually going to make a Twitter poll about whether you could even call Marine Le Pen far right or not, because it's quite a powerful word to say. I mean, as I said earlier, nothing wrong with being far right. Just obviously it's such a controversial opinion that you need to justify it in a strong way, and that's why I have a bit of compassion and respect for the alt-right and people like David Satterwood, who was on my stream the other day. Even though I disagree with him on a lot of points, he's able to articulate himself in a way that he can, make good arguments. You can argue against those arguments, but they're good arguments. It's not just tribalism and chest beating. There's more to it. There's actual intellectual thought going on in his mind. Whereas Tommy, most of it is just anecdote. But I'll read a couple other comments. This man should be the next Prime Minister. Take note, all you fucking cucks out there. This is what a real man looks like. This is why I have a problem with Cernovich as well. There is so much fucking insecurity. There's so much trying to cling on to this stereotypical image of the alpha male and the perfect specimen. Alex Jones does this as well, and it's just so pathetic. I mean, if you actually want to be an alpha male, the first step in order to achieve that enlightenment, if you will, is to not go around saying that you're an alpha male. It's so easy because it just comes across like you're playing a charade. It just comes across as if you're a fucking child. But I've delayed enough. Let's watch this video.
Going there is one of their leading researchers, a lady called Julia. She's wrote an article yesterday in The Guardian where she declares I'm a white supremacist. And what winds me up is these people who work in organisations...
No, she didn't call you a white supremacist. She said what was implied is you are probably a mainstream voice from which people then go into further beliefs down the line as white supremacists. And I don't think that's false. I mean, I think you've said it yourself. The reason you left the EDL, Tommy, was because it was going in a direction that you didn't like. It was going in a far-right direction. So, and doesn't mean they could still, not not support you and what you do, these white supremacists.
Organisations like Quilliam, because they're from a different class to me, because they wear a tie, they say exactly the same as me.
No, they don't. They are able to articulate their opinions. They're able to explain a very intricate and very complicated situation in a manner of which is quite simply better than yours. This is my issue with the whole, you know, I'm not against the working class by any means, but if you're going to talk politics, you need to do so like an adult. You need to do so in a calculated and eloquent manner and not do this kind of shit. Quite frankly. It's... What can I even say, Tommy? I mean, as I've said before, you rely heavily on anecdote. You're not very... I don't think you're a bad guy. It's just this whole working class revolt against the liberal elite. You know, there's a reason why these people are on top. It stinks of an anti-intellectualism culture. Doesn't mean that those people, those quote-unquote intellectuals, are correct. By any means, question them and hold them to account, but do so as an intelligent adult. Don't do what you're about to do.
But because I'm working class, I'm frowned upon, I'm deemed, we're called white supremacists, racists, bigots, for saying exactly the same. And that comes down to a class issue we have in the UK. So I'm literally...
No, it's not about class, it's about how you articulate yourself, Tommy. I mean, by all accounts, I'm working class, and I'm still able to articulate my opinions in a way that are in depth and, to an extent, well researched. You, on the other hand, just... I don't know what it is, Tommy. It's just... You need to try harder. You need to have a different approach if you want people to stop labelling you these things. And you're still going to get idiots labelling you these things. I get people... Fucking hell. I get people accusing me of not attacking the right wing enough, the retrograde right enough. And I'm the one... That is how my channel became popular, is because I attacked the retrograde right. It's nuts. I agree, but those people don't understand. Okay, you don't need to take their words seriously. And as for Antifa, which is a genuine problem, and I'm completely on your side that something needs to be done about it, it's not going to change their opinion. It's really not.
She's going to walk in there and ask her to justify her accusation. And it's about time that any journalists writing stories across the UK who wish to demonise and silence criticism coming out of the working class have to deal face to face with the person they're talking about.
So you're going to trespass on private property, in all essence. It's just... If this was, for example, the Young Turks storming into rebel media, let's flip the situation on its head. These people, the same people who are, you know, praising Tommy Robinson as brave and daring, they'd be fucking furious. They'd be absolutely livid. The people that follow rebel media, and I don't pay much heed to rebel media because it's not even Paul Joseph Watson entertainingly bad. It's just... There's just no meat to it. It's just traditional standard retrograde right shit that you could get anywhere else. Really, from the commenters at least. I mean, the videos less so, but there's definitely echoes of it that come from the videos.
Can't bang her up.
So you haven't got an appointment?
No.
Okay, so do you mind coming this way then?
All right.
This way?
Yeah.
Look at that smug grin. You know what you're doing. You know what you're trying to do. You're literally trying to incite an argument. That's what you're trying to do here. Why is that? Why are you proud of yourself? You're playing the victim here. This is the victim narrative that you're trying to paint yourself as. And yet you're here grinning like from ear to ear that you've got, you know, you're going to get an appointment with the lady what was her name again? Julia, I believe. Yeah, Julia Ebner. You're grinning from ear to ear as you're about to meet her. I'm sick of this. I'm so fucking sick of this. They call out the left wing, the regressive left, for doing the exact same thing, which is fine. I completely agree with them there. And yet they do exactly the same fucking thing. It's so pathetic. These people are two sides of the same coin.
You don't want to talk?
Yeah.
You know my views.
Robinson.
Yeah, so you know my views. Am I a white supremacist?
I don't really know your views in totality, no.
Everyone knows my views. I despise racism.
Everyone knows your views. Bit egotistical there, Tommy.
I've never said... What narrative would fit me into being a white supremacist?
Sorry, are we having an interview here?
Oh, right, no, I want to wait here to speak to Julia.
No, Julia's not going to come out until I say so.
Okay, well, Julia can say so, or I'm going to think it's... Imagine I said...
Also, I love the video editing here. Just anything incriminating Tommy says, it's just cut out. Not to say that he did say anything incriminating, but the video editing is clearly suspect. But these people, the people that watch Rebel Media, obviously don't care about that. It's Paul Joseph Watson does exactly the same thing. I pointed it out with regards to his Johnny Rotten video, how he deliberately edited it to make Johnny Rotten look as if he was more pro-Brexit and pro-Trump than he actually was.
Imagine I wrote a national newspaper article and I said Adam Dean is a Muslim extremist.
Except that has no founded accusation. That is not a founded accusation. The accusation of you being far right isn't unfounded, Tommy. And like I said, it's debatable if you're far right. It really is. I mean, it exists in the eye of the beholder in all essence.
Yeah.
How would you feel about that?
Well, I feel a bit disappointed.
Look, just entering in without their permission, just how daring, how brave, Tommy. Truly the mark of a internet vigilante. This is just him just walking through the offices now. So
Do you mind if I ask how I'm a white supremacist?
I did not say that you are a white supremacist at any...
Look at this situation. They've just stormed into a private... At least with Alex Jones and the whole Cenk Uygur thing, and that was hilarious, actually, I'll add. You know, that was a public place. You know, both of them had every right to be there. This is a private company, and Tommy has just decided to storm into their offices, uninvited. Just... Yeah, I mean, if he was actually invited, he would have shown the clip of him being invited, so why would he leave that out? It's complete horseshit. Because he was not clearly invited in any shape or form. And now he's going up to someone while they're working and putting them on the spot. And if they were in a public place, I would understand a bit more, but they're not. They're in an office. If someone just barged into my room now and started asking me questions about my videos, I'd be like, don't fucking ask me on the spot. Because I can't quite articulate my views, in a sense, to justify why I did X, Y, and Z. And it's the same here. If someone did that to Tommy Robinson, he'd look like a buffoon, and to be honest, it's probably happened.
No, I did not say that. You can read the exact article.
I'll read you it now. It doesn't mean you can start assaulting him. It doesn't mean you can start...
He's not assaulting him, he's pushing the camera away. That's what he does, this Mark Dean, or whatever his name is. He pushes the camera away, and you brought the camera onto that property. It's your responsibility from there on in if it gets damaged. You made the risk of going into that private company. You're essentially breaking the law right now. And yet you have the audacity to say, oh, well, my camera's protected. You know, don't damage my property. Fucking hell. The hypocrisy and double standards amaze me here.
Start assaulting him. I'm just wondering, why are you grabbing...
No rape! Okay.
Why are you breaking... Now you're breaking his camera. Why are you breaking his camera? I'm here to ask a simple question.
Manhandling him and pinning him in place. Fucking hell. more victim narrative, please, because there's a clip later which shows nothing of the sort from Tommy's perspective, because he has a camera phone.
Here, mate.
You need to ask him a question.
No, you're welcome to film outside. Come.
What's the matter? What's the matter? What have you got to hide?
Yeah, he's welcome to film outside. That's fine. You don't go into a private office and then start filming. That's against the law. That's trespassing.
What have you got to hide?
Why
are you trying to break his camera? Why are you trying to break his camera? Why are you trying to break his camera?
He's not trying to break his camera. He's trying to get him to stop recording. If he breaks his camera, that's fine, because he chose the risk to go in and break the law. That's the least controversial thing that's happening right now.
Why are you trying to break? Why have you broken his camera?
Guys,
Let's go upstairs and talk. Come on, Julia. Get your hand off me. Julia, let's go upstairs. Come in, Julia. Let's go upstairs. Let's go upstairs, Julia. Because I'm fed up with people like yourself calling me white supremacists.
I did not call you specifically a white supremacist.
Yes, you
I
did.
said that you are attracting people who are of all kinds of
Do you want me to show you?
far-right extremist views.
I think she's right there. I think she is right. This heavy-handed nature to dealing with Islamic extremism is what is breeding an anti-intellectual alt-right movement. And I disagree with the alt-right, but if you can articulate yourself intelligently, I don't have a problem with your views. The people I have problems with are those who can't articulate their views, and you're essentially inciting them to act upon their prejudices, their unenlightened views, if you will. And it's completely unmeritocratic within the realm of ideas. You're essentially giving more advertising to less thought out ideas by doing this. This is the problem with political discourse in general, and you are fueling it to serve your own agenda.
Are you breaking his camera? Did you just try and break his camera? Why have you tried to break his camera? Why are you trying 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 to break his camera? What have you got to hide? What have you got to hide? What can't...
It's a private fucking company, you bellend. If I went into a random shop, went into their staff room and started filming, I would get the same reaction, and then I'd be like, oh, well, what are you trying to hide? It's not about what they have to hide, it's the fact that you're breaking the law recording there.
Let's have an adult conversation.
If you want me to move,
We can go upstairs.
So let's go upstairs and talk. Because you wrote an article for The Guardian, which is a propaganda machine against ordinary people.
Oh my Jesus. I mean, this is literally fighting fire with fire right now. I mean, you disagree with being labelled, you know, a white supremacist, which you weren't, or a far-righter, which is, again, debatable, and now you're making assertions about The Guardian? Blatant hypocrisy. Absolutely blatant hypocrisy. Why can't The Guardian just be wrong? Why are they a propaganda machine against ordinary people? Why can't they just be incorrect? Why can't they just have a different worldview for you that you simply don't agree with? This is what I don't get with these people. They always want an enemy. They always want to justify the people they're against as evil. And fucking hell, the regressive left does the same thing, and it pisses me off. Why can't they just simply be wrong? Why can't you treat them as incorrect and then rebut that? This is what you should have done, Tommy. You should have sat down, made a video, and said, this is why I'm not a white supremacist, this is why I'm not far right, and express yourself intelligently and made the effort to try and shake these things. It probably wouldn't have worked, in all honesty, with the people who criticise you, but you know what? The people like myself, people on the centre would have gone, you know what? I appreciate that, and I'm going to say from now on, Tommy Robinson is most definitely not those things, but as it stands right now, it's debatable, because you're not denying it. You're just getting defensive about the accusation to save your own hide. Which I can understand, in all honesty, but because of Antifa, but that doesn't make these people the problem. That makes Antifa the problem. We need to solve the problem of Antifa as opposed to the problem of people calling you far right. If you don't want to be labelled far right, express yourself in an intelligent... I mean, you'll probably still be called far right, yes. But if you express yourself in an intelligent way, people will at least have some kind of respect for you. That's why I have respect for millennial woes. That's why a lot of people have respect for millennial woes, even if they completely disagree with them.
And you can
I mean,
no, you don't need to
it's
do
not
anything.
a propaganda machine.
Yes, it
right?
is. Yes, it is. It is not respected. Sorry.
You are the one who is...
Of course it's fucking respected. It's a quality newspaper in Britain. Definitely some garbage in there, but you get garbage in every newspaper. It's not consistent garbage like the fucking Mail, Express and Sun, which you probably retweet, knowing you.
Can you please just
Why are you breaking his camera? Why are you breaking his camera?
Look at that. The cameraman is the one making a show and dance of it. He's lightly covering the camera, and then the cameraman just recoils violently and goes like, "Oh, don't touch my camera." He's probably the one that's going to end up doing more damage to the camera than Adam Dean.
Why are you trying to break his camera? Can we go upstairs and talk?
Yeah, can you please just go upstairs?
Not my camera's still rolling. Adam,
Look at him trying to break in, like trying to get in more.
my camera's still rolling. That doesn't make no difference to me.
Please, come on.
This is just you breaching our security. That is why we're...
Can you call security?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
This is not about...
No, this is
Please
about
just go
you saying in a national newspaper that I am a white supremacist.
I
That's
did
what
not
this is
say
about.
that you are a white
Yes, you did.
supremacist.
At this point, there's just two conversations overlapping, and basically they get the police involved. This Tommy plays the victim somehow, even though he's the one breaking the law, and he gets escorted off the property. And then he gets to smugly proclaim, "Look at these people. Look how guilty they are." It's... Majid Nawaz, I think, said it best. Where's his... Bravo, by raiding our Quilliam office, Tommy and populist alt-right crowd have gained good allies among Islamist sympathisers who hate us too. You are literally supporting the people that you hate by doing this. This is so self-detrimental, Tommy. This is just... This is my problem with the retrograde right. You're doing more harm to the... you are essentially prodding the hornet's nest of Islamic extremism. You're going to probably make more people of the Islamic faith, Muslims, turn radical.